What if the ultimate sanctuary for your well-being isn't some far-flung, expensive retreat, but, the very place you wake up and lay your head down every single day? Imagine transforming your home from just a dwelling into a dynamic partner in your health, your happiness, your peace of mind. Today, we're diving deep into exactly how your living space profoundly influences your physical, mental, and emotional state. Get ready to rethink your four walls.
It's an often overlooked truth, isn't it? Our homes are just so much more than shelter. They're really an extension of ourselves, constantly shaping our experiences, our moods, even our health in ways we often don't consciously register. And, the most profound impacts often come from the elements we barely even notice.
That's fascinating because it means we actually have so much control. Let's really unpack this, starting with those invisible architects that are constantly at work. Light, sound, and the very air we breathe. So where do we begin with the incredible power of natural light?
Well, natural light is truly foundational. It really is. It's not just about, making a room bright. It's a direct signal to our biology. Sunlight exposure actually triggers the release of serotonin.
The happiness neurotransmitter.
Exactly. And what's really profound here isn't just a temporary mood boost. It's how natural light acts like a master conductor for our entire biological orchestra. It's this primal signal telling our bodies how to function optimally. I mean, everything from sleep cycles to emotional regulation in a way that, frankly, no artificial light can ever fully replicate.
That's a powerful way to put it. Yeah. We often think of light as purely visual, but it sounds like it's a whole body experience. I was really struck by some of the numbers I saw. Studies showing improved natural light design can lead to like a 40% increase in perceived happiness and a 30% reduction in sadness. That's a huge shift. And apparently it can start happening in just a couple of hours.
It's quite immediate, yeah.
And beyond mood, it affects our productivity too, right? Something like an 18% boost for employees and students seeing 23% faster progress, 12.5% higher test scores. How does that actually happen?
Well, it ties directly into our circadian rhythms, that internal clock that governs so many bodily functions. Natural light, especially the blue light spectrum and daylight, signals to our brains that it's daytime. This helps regulate melatonin production later on. And that leads to significantly improved sleep patterns. One study even found people getting an extra 46 minutes of sleep per night with more daylight exposure.
Wow, nearly an hour.
Yeah. And visually, natural light's broad spectrum and even distribution reduce eye strain. They enhance comfort in a way artificial lights, with their flicker and limited spectrum, they just can't match. It's simply less taxing on our visual system, which leads to sustained focus and less fatigue.
Okay, so it's really about optimizing our biology for peak performance and peace. And there's a lovely aesthetic benefit too. Natural light highlights decor, makes spaces feel larger by minimizing shadows, brings out textures, plus the practical side. Less reliance on electric lighting means lower utility bills. I mean, lighting is a big chunk of home energy use.
It certainly is. And, from the visible impacts of light, we can seamlessly transition to another invisible but equally powerful architect, sound. If we connect this to the bigger picture, mastering your home's soundscape is just as critical for well-being. Think about it. Continuous exposure to loud environmental noise isn't just annoying. It's linked to increased stress, sleep difficulties, even long-term cardiovascular problems. Our bodies are constantly reacting to noise, even if we're not consciously aware of it.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Our nervous system is always kind of on alert, picking up signals. So if noise is the problem, quiet is the solution. A quiet home demonstrably improves focus, mental clarity, and, well, obviously sleep quality. But how do we actually achieve that quiet amidst the hum of daily life? What kinds of noise are we actually dealing with?
Well, there are two main types to think about. First, airborne noise, which is what we typically imagine. Voices, music, traffic outside. It travels through the air. Second, and this one's often trickier, is impact noise. This is sound that travels through the structure of your building.
Ah, footsteps from upstairs.
Exactly. Footsteps, clanging pipes, appliances vibrating through the floor. Impact noise is significantly harder to isolate because the structure itself is transmitting the sound.
Right, the dreaded upstairs neighbor. So, okay, what are the practical steps? Room by room, how do we quiet our spaces?
Right. The solutions do vary. In your living room, for example, thick rugs, heavy lined curtains, or even those purpose-designed acoustic panels can absorb airborne noise. They reduce reverberation. That makes conversations clearer, the room just feels calmer. And sealing gaps in windows and doors, that's a simple but really effective first step. For the bedroom, where sleep is everything, you might consider investing in blackout curtains that also act as sound barriers. If you can, double-glazed windows make a huge difference. And if you're dealing with noisy neighbors, adding soundproof insulation to shared walls, that can be transformative. Also, soft, plush flooring will significantly reduce impact noise from within your own space.
Okay. And what about places like the kitchen and bathroom? Lots of hard surfaces, appliances.
Yes, those can be echo chambers. For those areas, wrapping plumbing pipes with acoustic insulation can really cut down the sound of running water or drains. Placing vibration pads under noisy appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, blenders that can make a world of difference too. And even simple things like using fabric placemats or having soft bath mats can help dampen that reverberation.
And for those of us who are renters, or maybe just prefer simpler, less invasive solutions, are there any good hacks?
Oh, absolutely plenty. Sealing around windows and door frames with weather stripping or caulk, super effective and cheap. Using draft stoppers at the bottom of doors helps block sound too. If you've got a shared wall with a noisy neighbor, try placing a large packed bookshelf against it. The mass of the books provides surprising sound absorption.
Interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah. And don't underestimate soft furnishings. Layering rugs, adding throw blankets, even upholstered furniture. They all help absorb sound waves and soften the acoustics. You can create a more peaceful environment without any major renovation.
It's really empowering to know small changes can make such a difference. This brings up another important question, though. Beyond light and sound, what about the air we're breathing indoors? I was genuinely surprised, maybe even a little alarmed, to read about the array of harmful, often hidden chemicals we're exposed to daily through common household products. It feels like a silent assault.
It truly can be. And it's critical because we spend, 90% of our lives indoors? The unfortunate truth is that many common products contain these hidden toxins that off-gas into our air or leach into our food and bodies. Take furniture and textiles, for instance. Many conventional carpets, upholstery, curtains are treated with stain repellents, brominated flame retardants. These release harmful chemicals over time. The best bet here is really to opt for organic or natural fibers, things like wool, cotton, or jute.
Okay. And what about the kitchen, where we prepare our food? What should we watch out for there?
In the kitchen, vinyl floors are a common source of VOC's volatile organic compounds. Healthier alternatives include wood, ceramic tile, or bamboo. Also be mindful of tinned foods. Many cans are lined with resins containing BPA, which can leach into the food, so prefer fresh or frozen options when you can. And a big one, plastics. Avoid PVC and polycarbonate plastics, usually labeled #3 and #7, especially for food storage. They can leach things like phthalates or BPA, which are known endocrine disruptors. Instead, go for glass or safer plastics labeled #1, #2, #4, and #5.
Got it. And our everyday cleaning products and personal care items feels like we're surrounded.
We are, to some extent. For cleaning products, synthetic fragrances are a major culprit. They often contain phthalates. And many harsh chemicals can irritate respiratory systems. The simple solution: steer clear. Choose fragrance-free, biodegradable products. Or, honestly, make your own cleaners with simple things like vinegar and baking soda. It's surprisingly effective, and this extends to personal care. Avoid synthetic fragrances in cosmetics and toiletries. And try Clozan, that antibacterial agent, in some soaps and toothpaste. Avoid that too. It can disrupt hormones and contribute to antibiotic resistance.
This sounds especially critical for families with young children, doesn't it? Their systems are just so much more vulnerable.
Absolutely. For children, it's about creating the safest possible environment right from the start. Choose organic, untreated, toxic-free baby products whenever possible. Avoid PVC toys, phthalates again. Disposable diapers with dyes or fragrances can cause skin irritation. Even chemically treated clothing can expose them to formaldehyde and other irritants.
Yeah.
But my personal favorite antidote to indoor toxins is actually quite beautiful: houseplants.
Ah, yes.
They are nature's air cleaners. They absorb chemicals like formaldehyde and benzene and release oxygen. Aim for maybe 2-3 plants per 100 square feet. Some top performers: philodendron, Boston fern, peace lily, English ivy. It's like having tiny green lungs working silently in your home.
I love that image. It's sobering to realize how many unseen chemicals might be impacting us. But while we're on intentional choices, let's pivot. Let's talk about how we can proactively design our spaces for well-being. Beyond mitigating the unseen, how do we use those intentional brushstrokes, design, flow, aesthetics, started with bringing nature indoors?
Right, this brings us to a fascinating concept called biophilia. It's basically our innate, natural human tendency to seek connections with nature and other living systems. Just think about how good you feel after walking the park, or even just looking at a beautiful landscape painting. Spending time outdoors demonstrably reduces stress, improves mood, boosts cognitive function. Biophilic design is about consciously inviting that same profound connection into our homes and workplaces.
So it's more than just adding a pot plant here or there. It's about integrating nature at a deeper level. What are the measurable benefits of this kind of design? How does it sort of rewire us?
Exactly. It's about replicating natural patterns and elements. The benefits are quite striking. Studies show biophilic design can lower cortisol levels. That's the stress hormone, significantly reducing stress. It can increase productivity by up to 15%, even enhance creative thinking. The insight here is that by integrating natural light, greenery, organic materials, views of nature, we're literally rewiring our brains for calm, focus, and creativity. We're bridging that evolutionary gap between our biology and our modern built environment. Our minds are just hardwired to respond positively to nature.
Okay, so what does this mean practically for us at home? Beyond the obvious plants, what else can we do?
Well, yes, adding plants is a great start, but you can go further. Consider a small indoor water feature for the calming sound of trickling water. Choose wooden or stone elements for furniture and decor. Opt for natural textures and fabrics. And if you have a view of nature from a window, really optimize your furniture placement to maximize it. Make it a focal point. You could even incorporate art depicting natural landscapes or use patterns inspired by nature in your textiles. It's all about bringing the outside inside.
That's a beautiful way to think about it. Okay, next, let's look at the ancient art of placement, feng shui. For someone completely new to it, maybe a bit skeptical of qi or energy flow, what's the fundamental principle they should grasp? The thing that makes the difference even without buying into all the spiritual aspects?
That's a great question. Because at its core, feng shui is really just applied common sense wrapped in ancient wisdom. It's an ancient Chinese practice focused on harmonizing your environment with qi or life force to promote well-being. The fundamental principle is simply that your environment profoundly impacts your energy and your opportunities. Even if you just think of qi as good flow or positive feeling, you'll still get the benefits. It's really about optimizing the flow of energy, however you define it, and creating balance.
Okay, good flow and balance. I can get behind that. How does that translate into the core ideas of feng shui?
Well, beyond the core concept of qi ensuring free and seamless energy flow, there's yin and yang. Balancing passive, restful energies like in a bedroom with dynamic, active energies like in a living room or kitchen. Then there's the Bagua map. This maps specific areas of your home to life aspects, wealth, relationships, health, and so on, allowing you to intentionally optimize energy in those zones. For instance, if you stand at your front door looking in, the far left corner often corresponds to wealth and prosperity. So you might intentionally place things there that symbolize abundance, like a vibrant, healthy plant or art that inspires growth. And finally, the natural elements, incorporating earth, fire, metal, water, and wood, often subtly. Blue decor for water and calm, maybe candles for fire, warmth, and passion.
Right. So how do we apply these principles practically in our daily lives? Beyond just moving furniture, what are some actionable tips?
Okay, the first and most crucial step, honestly, whether you're into feng shui or just want a calmer home, is decluttering. It's absolutely essential for positive energy flow. Clutter basically acts like stagnant energy, blocking movement and creating overwhelm.
Yeah, I feel that.
Furniture placement is also key. Placing sofas against solid walls gives a sense of security. Putting beds diagonally opposite doors lets you see who enters. Ensuring symmetry often creates a feeling of balance. Mirrors can be powerful. They expand space, reflect energy, but use them mindfully. Don't put one directly opposite your bed, for instance. That can be unsettling. Plants, as we said, invigorate spaces. And don't forget the outside. A tidy yard, a clear path to your front door that allows energy to flow smoothly into your home.
It sounds like it doesn't necessarily require a total overhaul, though. Small adjustments can really make a difference.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't have to be extensive or costly changes. Often just moving a piece of furniture, decluttering a corner, or adding a plant can significantly enhance the harmony and the feeling of your home. It's about intention.
And speaking of intention and feeling, another incredibly powerful element is the psychology of color. I mean, we instinctively feel something when we see certain colors, right? But how does that really work in our homes?
Oh, it's profound how colors influence our mood, our feelings, even our physical health. Our perception of color is deeply rooted in learned associations and our primal connection to nature. The sky is blue, grass is green. These associations create a powerful emotional shorthand. Think about warm colors like yellow or orange. They inherently feel cheerful, inviting. They can stimulate creativity and concentration. Yellow especially is often associated with happiness, optimism, even trust. It's a color that can instantly lift your spirits.
And then you have the cool colors, which seem to have almost the opposite effect.
Precisely. Cool colors like green and blue are inherently calming, serene. They can even have physiological effects like reducing blood pressure and heart rate. Green, for example, brings a sense of balance, harmony, restoration. Think of a lush forest. Blue conveys confidence, peace, stability, like the ocean or the sky. Even neutrals like white and gray have distinct impacts. White suggests purity, spaciousness, cleanliness. Gray can feel secure, intelligent, sophisticated. The striking thing is how simply changing wall colors, even ceiling colors, can dramatically alter a room's atmosphere. But there's no single right answer. It's about what resonates with you and the mood you want to create for that specific space. A vibrant yellow might be great for a studio, but maybe too stimulating for a bedroom,
Exactly. It's so personal. Okay, finally, let's talk about the daily rituals, the habits that really cement a peaceful existence. And we have to start with the liberating power of less. Decluttering and minimalism. We touched on it with Feng Shui, but what's the deeper psychological toll of clutter? Why is letting go so liberating? Well, clutter isn't just unsightly. It negatively impacts our subjective well-being in really profound ways. It creates visual noise, overwhelms our senses, leads to disorganization, chaos, and even that things some people call can't have anyone over syndrome. Research shows that being surrounded by clutter actually depletes our mental bandwidth. It makes decision-making harder and can even contribute to chronic stress and anxiety. It's like a constant low-level drain on our energy.
That feeling of being constantly overwhelmed, knowing there's something to do, but not knowing where to even start.
Exactly. But the good news is decluttering offers significant mental health benefits. It boosts mood, sharpens focus, increases productivity by clearing mental space, and definitely relieves anxiety by giving you a sense of control and accomplishment. That liberating feeling. It comes from stripping away the unnecessary, which gives you psychological freedom and a clearer mind.
And it doesn't have to be this massive, overwhelming project itself, right? What are some practical ways to just tackle it? Absolutely. Start small. One drawer, one shelf, even just one countertop. Momentum builds from there. Integrate a 10-second tidy into your daily routine. Just pick up 5 things and put them away. And don't be afraid to ask friends or family for help. Sometimes an extra pair of hands or just a non-judgmental perspective is all you need to get past that initial hump. And, beyond just decluttering, minimalism as a broader philosophy is about stripping away the unnecessary to focus on what truly adds value to your life. That leads to profound psychological liberation, simplified living, and even economic and environmental benefits because you're consuming less.
Makes sense. And to wrap up our sensory exploration of a healthy home, let's talk about 2 of my personal favorites, aromatherapy and music. How do these sensory soothers passively enhance our home environment?
Ah, yes. These are truly powerful and really accessible tools. Aromatherapy offers passive stress relief because scent molecules travel directly to the brain's emotional center, the amygdala and the limbic system. That's the part governing emotions, memory, and motivation. So different scents can trigger different physiological and emotional responses.
Can you give us some examples? Common essential oils and their uses.
Certainly. Lavender is probably the most famous, really effective for stress and anxiety relief, and a fantastic sleep aid. Try diffusing it in your bedroom maybe 30 minutes before bed. Peppermint can be invigorating, helpful for headaches, even nausea sometimes. Lemon is a wonderful mood booster, great for uplifting and energizing a space, but it's important to use them safely. Diffuse them on accessories like lava beads, use diluted body oils on your skin, or use aroma sticks. Always avoid ingesting them unless you're under the guidance of a certified professional. And be mindful with diffusers in shared spaces, as reactions can vary.
Good safety tips. And then there's music, which can just set an entire mood instantly.
Absolutely. Music is another incredibly powerful passive stress reliever. It can either energize you or relax you, contributing significantly to a peaceful home environment. Think about creating different soundscapes for different areas or activities. Maybe ambient or classical music for focus in a workspace. Soft, instrumental music can be incredibly relaxing in a bedroom or a reading nook. Up-tempo music can energize the kitchen while you're cooking. Even nature sounds, gentle rain. Ocean waves can create a deeply calming atmosphere. It's an easy yet profound way to enhance the mood and feeling of any space without much effort. You can really curate your home's soundtrack.
We've peeled back so many layers today, haven't we? What makes a home truly healthy? It really is a symphony of light, sound, air, intentional design, and these mindful habits. The key lesson here, I think, isn't about grand renovations necessarily, but understanding that every small choice you make, the colors on your walls, the plants in your living room, the quiet you cultivate, the things you choose to keep or let go, it all creates this ripple effect on your peace, your calm, your overall well-being.
It really is about making your home an active partner in your journey to wellness, not just a place you happen to live.
So thinking about all this, what singular change, or maybe even just a subtle shift in perspective, could you bring into your home today to make it feel a little more like that perfect sanctuary you imagine? Think about which element resonates most deeply with you right now, and maybe just embark on that one small part of the journey to transform your living space into a true haven. We'll be back soon with another deep dive.